Hello, hello, hello. If it wasn't me having technical difficulties, I don't know what to tell you. But y'all, it is Thursday. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. I hope we are all having a fantastic night. And can y'all hear me good? Because we're doing something a little different this week. We are streaming on YouTube as well as Facebook. So that way, if there's anybody that doesn't hop into YouTube, they are over on Facebook and they can communicate with us as well. So I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. I was having technical difficulties like a mofo to start the night. I don't know what was going on. I don't know where my brain was at, but I got it up. I got it running. I am here. Now, if I'm lagging, we're having, a little bit of bad weather here in Florida tonight. So bear with it. I am hardwired to the internet. I am not hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So let's get right to that chat and say what's going on, everybody. What's going on, Scott McNeil, the first one in the chat, followed by the one and only Cameron Hawkins. Robin, I hope you are having a fantastic night. Julie Thomas in the house, and the one and only Slinky Ingle King in the chat. So y'all can already tell by the description, right? Like, I am home from Alaska. What gave it away was the 5,000 degree temperatures I am having outside. Yes, it is like someone opened the gates to Satan's domain themselves. But that doesn't mean I won't be going back to Alaska, right? Just because I came home to the hot climate doesn't mean I will never go to the cooler climate again. So that's what tonight's show is about. Tonight's show is going to be about Alaska and my trip to Alaska, and what a great time it was that I had on board the Carnival Luminosa. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to know about the Luminosa. So are you ready? Are you ready to hear the good, the bad, the ugly of the Carnival Luminosa? Yes, the ugly of a Carnival ship. Listen, Carnival is not everybody's cup of tea, right? I absolutely love Carnival. Carnival is one of my favorite cruise lines to go on. I have been on so many Carnival cruises that I'm already platinum within, let's just say, less than 2 years. So, but Carnival is not everybody's cup of tea. So I will give you the deets. I will spill the tea. I will give you all the info there is. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to make sure you like this video so we can get 5 million likes by 11 o'clock. I don't know how we're going to do it. I'm pretty sure it's possible. You got to unlike a lot of times to get me there, but I know I have faith. I know we can do it. But I'm going to break some bad news first. The bad news is there will be no live show next Thursday. I know, I just got home and I'm already canceling a live show. Listen, I have to go into work super early on Friday, 4 a.m. to be exact. So there will be no late live show next Thursday, but I will be a special guest next Friday evening on another YouTube channel. So be sure that you are in the know on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all that fun jazz. And that way you can know when I'm going live, where I'm going live, who I'm going live with next Friday. So let's get right into it, right? Florida to Seattle. Phenomenal. 6-hour flight. Absolutely amazing. Flew economy on the way there. Had a grand old time on the flight. Flight couldn't have been any better. Left on time, landed early, bags made it, no issues. Hotel in Seattle. Phenomenal. 31st floor in an Emerald Suite. Absolutely amazing. I could see the city of Seattle through one window, and I can see the Puget Sound through another window. I was a happy boy. I had land and sea, one on one side, one on the other. So it was amazing. Pike Place, absolutely amazing. If you have never been, I highly recommend you go and take some time and walk around Pike Place Market. It's absolutely awesome, and there are some amazing local artists there selling some epic stuff. What else? Embarkation day. Super easy, no issues. Very simple, very fast, very effective. Right up and in through security, dropped off by the Uber, up and in through security, no issues, no complaints there. Getting on the ship, no complaints. My luggage didn't arrive until 5. Is that really a complaint? I did have priority. I was in a suite. I am platinum, so it should have been there sooner, but my luggage didn't arrive till 5. That was a little, all right, not a big deal. Muster drill, super, super simple. Still doing the e-muster. You go down to the outside of the deck. They demonstrate real quick, and then you watch it on the phone. Super simple, super fast, in and out within a few minutes. So the muster drill, super easy. Still the easy process. Getting on the ship was super easy. Seattle was phenomenal. My flight was phenomenal. The Carnival Luminosa. It's a great ship. It's a great ship. Hey, we got Nautical Nurse Nancy in the house. What's going on, Nautical Nurse Nancy? I hope you're having a fantastic night. So the Luminosa is a great ship, but there are a lot of spots on the Luminosa that need attention, and attention fast for the North America market. Now let's put this in perspective, right? So the Luminosa came out and it went to Australia, and then it goes to Alaska. So it sails in Australia for the Australian season, and it sails in Alaska for the Alaska season. So there's a few things on the ship that for the North America market, I don't think Carnival capitalized on that like they should have. First off, there's no Guy's Burgers. There's no Blue Iguana. So if you have a tradition of getting a Guy's Burger on embarkation day or Blue Iguana on embarkation day, that is not possible with the Luminosa. However, there is a no frills option. So like a no name brand option called Off the Grill for your burger, and just tacos and burritos for your Blue Iguana option. Here's where it gets tricky. It's guys in disguise. You heard it here. Like, it's guys in disguise. The only thing they didn't do was brand it Guys Burgers. Branded Guys Burgers is going to be identical to Guys Burgers. The fries come out seasoned. The patties are smashed burgers. They're cooked identical. Everything is the same. They're just labeled different, and you don't have the pig patty or the plain Jane. There's just different names for the burgers. Bacon cheeseburger was the bacon cheeseburger on Guys. The fries were seasoned like Guys. The only downfall was they do not have those amazing hot pickles that Guys is known for. They just had basic kosher dill. Yeah, like basic kosher dill. Who eats basic pickles? Nobody eats basic pickles. I mean, we're in Alaska. Criminy, Jiminy Crickets, man. Give me some spicy pickles here, Carnival. But no, it was identical. It was Guys in disguise, and that's what I call it. Guys in disguise. It was literally like that emoji Slinky just dropped in the chat. A big nose with a mustache and a pair of glasses slunk over the Guys symbol. It was Guys in disguise. It tasted the same. As for tacos and burritos, Blue Iguana in disguise. You might as well call it Green Iguana because it was literally identical to Blue Iguana. Fish tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos, everything was the same. So it was just not branded as Guys or Blue Iguana. Were some menu items different? Yes, some menu items were different. If you like Blue Iguana and you are used to those in-house made tortillas that I know I love very, very much for the tacos, they don't have them on the Luminosa. So you're dealing with basic flour tortillas. But if you can get around that part, it is identical. The buffet, the buffet, super small. Let's just say that. Super small, but super big. It's not your traditional Carnival buffet. Now, keep in mind that this was a Costa ship at one point, so it has been rebranded for Carnival. It is not a Carnival build from the hull to the stern and the bow to the stern and from the bottom deck to the top deck. So keep that in mind with everything I'm telling you. But the buffet was set up completely different than the traditional Carnival buffet. It was a lot smaller than your traditional Carnival buffet. And there was a pig and anchor inside the buffet, but it wasn't pig and anchor. Could you believe it? It was just literally called barbecue. Now, I give them credit because anytime I've went to Pig and Anchor and I've had their beans, whether it's the navy beans or the baked beans or the kidney beans or the refried beans, whatever type of beans I've ever had from a Pig and Anchor on a Carnival ship, the beans have always been hard. Not on the Luminosa. They got you with the soft beans on the Luminosa. So if you're a bean fan, go on the Luminosa. You know the beans on the Luminosa will be nice and soft and they won't be hard. Seafood Shack. Another upcharge option on Carnival ships that a lot of us love. It's near and dear to my heart. I enjoy going to the seafood shack. Skip the buffalo shrimp. It's like a tempura fried shrimp. It's not the same. I would not recommend the seafood shack on the Luminosa. What else did I eat? What else did I eat? Yes, Luminosa beans for the win. Riley Creative Travel in the house. What's going on, Blaine and Mallory? They won't be hard, but they will make you fart, which can be good for your heart. Yes, beans, they're good for your heart. But yes, they were soft. They were absolutely like perfectly cooked. They weren't hard. I was not disappointed, but it was a good thing to take away because I've been to so many different Pig and Anchor restaurants. I've got the beans and I've been disappointed with the beans, but this time I was not disappointed with the beans on the Luminosa. Fahrenheit 555. Now, y'all know I love me a good old piece of moo meat slapped on the plate with a nice little lobster tail and that stuffed mushrooms and the pork belly and that hazelnut cheesecake to follow it up. It's just so amazing. I didn't get fat overnight by eating all these great foods. I tell you, that's why I put on my weight. It's because so many amazing things have went into my mouth and I've chewed them up and swallowed them down. And that is one thing I had on that ship that I had more than once. I had twice. Fahrenheit 555 was phenomenal. Carnival does it again with an amazing steak, an amazing steakhouse atmosphere on deck 10. It was a great venue. The food was amazing. The pork belly was cooked perfectly, and everything was perfect from the service, from the time I walked in to the time I walked out. It was absolutely phenomenal. So that was another great option. MDR. C-Day brunch, MDR, they kind of go hand in hand, right? That's where you have your C-Day brunch. Horrible. It took me 30 minutes to get a cup of coffee at C-Day brunch. And at dinner, I literally waited 30 minutes for a glass of water and my bread to be served after I've already received my appetizers. So I was definitely disappointed in the service in the MDR. Now, a lot of people that have traveled with me, like Scott, Chuck, and all y'all know that I do not want to waste my time in the MDR. I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half, 2 hours to have dinner. If it's a big group event, I don't mind it because we don't see each other that much. So we can go and we can waste that 2 hours in the dining room. Solo, however, I don't want to spend 2 hours in the main dining room sitting there by myself eating dinner. So for me to wait 30 minutes for a glass of water and some bread or an appetizer, or even to be able to order my C-Day brunch, that was a little disappointing and it was lacking there. And I did my survey. My survey was complete. They know about the service in the MDR already, but that is not enough to keep me from going back on the Luminosa. The ship is absolutely amazing. There are some things that I feel Carnival can capitalize on here in the North America market with people like me and you who continue to want to sail on such amazing ships that Carnival has to offer. Deck 10, outside space, big old open space in the middle of the ship. I think it's a waste. They need to put something there. There are so many open spaces on this ship that Carnival needs to revamp and make things that we're so used to on the Carnival branded ships, right? So I'm a big piano bar player. Well, not player, attender, right? I love going to the piano bar. It's one of my favorite things to do on any Carnival ship. There is no piano bar venue specifically just for the piano bar. You're in the back by the dining room, and right next to the bar is a piano, and then a sign that says piano bar. There's no enclosed environment. The piano bar player cannot go and reach their full potential because there's constantly kids around. After 9:30, it's adults only, and they play a little bit more, of your racy type music with cuss words and things like that, but they cannot do that there on the ship because there is no enclosed venue. There is no one specific place for the piano bar. It is an open venue for anybody and everybody to go and just be able to walk through. If you are there to watch the piano bar player, your seats are 15 feet away from the piano bar player. So you're constantly having people walk in front of you, and it gets to be a little annoying. So that is one thing they definitely can look into changing. Other than that, I have been very happy with the Luminosa. It is a beautiful ship. The staterooms are amazing. I can't wait for y'all to see the room tour and a little bit of the ship. I did not do a full ship tour this time. I was in Alaska for my first time, so I took it all in. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I just absorbed it like a sponge in a dry sponge in water. So it was a great experience overall. I fell in love with Alaska. And like I said, the Luminosa is a great ship. It's beautiful. It's weird to be on a Carnival cruise ship that doesn't have a wow towel. But again, they did a fantastic job with a lot of the things. The cruise director, Neil, was absolutely amazing, very knowledgeable. The naturalist we had on board, she was amazing. She was very knowledgeable, young girl, but absolutely amazing. And it was just an epic experience. I've never been to Alaska before, so this was the first time, and I enjoyed every moment of it. I got to see whales in Juneau. I got to eat some crab in Juneau. I got to see a bear in the water in Juneau. I got to see some eagles. I got to see so much different wildlife. I rode the train all the way up into the mountains into Canada. I took the White Pass Summit. That was amazing. I seen the salmon swimming up river in Ketchikan to lay their spawn, their fry. That was an awesome experience. I had a best experience you possibly ever could have or want with a first time experience going to Alaska. So it has been absolutely amazing. I am disappointed to be back home in Florida and not continuing on in Alaska, but that does not mean I will never go back, because I am planning for 2024 and long pause for dramatic effect. You ready? Alaska Group Cruise 2025. Boom, you heard it here. First Alaskan ever Group Cruise 2025. That's what it's going to be. So it was absolutely amazing just to be able to see those things. Now, I will tell you this. The weather will play mind games, right? Like, absolutely, the weather will play mind games. The first day, it was supposed to be cold. I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. Get off the ship, and it's like 95 degrees by 12 o'clock. I was dying of heat. It was so hot, but the humidity was not bad. So I do admit the humidity wasn't bad, but that means you need to bring long pants, long shirts, shorts, Speedos. Bring it all, because you don't know what the weather is going to be like, especially in July. But it was absolutely amazing. Seeing whales in Juneau, being at like just peace with nature, seeing a mother whale and her baby calf just swimming along and playing and having fun. It was absolutely amazing. There's no way to explain the sights, the sounds, the awes of everything you see in Alaska. So I hope my content does it justice and it excites you as much as it excited me, because I really cannot wait to edit these videos and get these videos out already and put them out there. So it's going to be an epic thing. I just can't wait to go back. I really can't wait to go back. Yeah, John got y'all with the group cruise to the ABC, but this is Alaska. I'm doing both. Go big or go home, right? I've been to the ABCs numerous times, but I definitely have to go back to Alaska. The crazy thing about Alaska is that 70% of the lower 48 population before they die will never step foot in Alaska. So I will not be part of that statistic, and I am no longer part of that statistic. So it's insane to think that 70% of the lower 48 population would never step foot into a state. It's absolutely insane. And listen, an Alaskan cruise, when you book an Alaska cruise, you're just touching Alaska. You're not even getting up in to the heart of Alaska. So I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to do a few more things. Tracy Arm Fjords was absolutely amazing, beautiful. Was able to see the glacier right from the ship. So I didn't do the excursion that takes you off the ship and puts you on this little boat and takes you up to the glacier, because I could see the glacier directly from the balcony of the cruise ship, whether I was in my stateroom or on one of the open decks. It was absolutely phenomenal. But Alaska was amazing. I know there's some questions because I know there's some people that have never been or want my opinion on things. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Um, Seattle was phenomenal. I had a blast. I sent home some seafood from Seattle from Pike Place Market. And then I made it that weekend when I came home. It was delicious. And my camera's doing that thing again, like it was doing a few weeks ago. And listen, once I get a studio space, it'll be so much easier. I won't have to worry about any of this anymore. Cameron said he's debating on the ABC in March. He really wants to do it. I know ABC has been one thing that you've talked about a few times. But it's just amazing. There's not many places you can go that will take your breath away. Alaska is absolutely one of them. But I had a phenomenal time. Again, the Luminosa was an awesome ship. The staff, the crew, everybody was amazing. The cruise director was amazing. The naturalist was amazing. The food was amazing. MDR time, not so much. But other than that, everything else was amazing. And I'm wearing my Juno shirt tonight. Juno? Do you know where I bought this? I bought this in Juno. Juno? And it's got a whale on it. One of my favorites. Scott's glad he went last year for his birthday. Yeah, definitely, man. Like, the weather was amazing the whole time. So the only time we had bad weather, and I wouldn't even classify it as like bad weather, it's just halfway through the fjord, it got very, very foggy. So other than that, I had no rain. I had some inclement cold weather. The day at the fjords was cold, but again, you're right there, a few 100 feet away from a glacier, surrounded by mountains. So it was, other than the chilly weather, it was absolutely amazing. But no inclement weather, no rain, no snow, none of that. So the weather, yeah, I would say the weather was perfect the whole time. Though even the weather in Seattle, I got off the plane. Now, I took the train in Seattle. I didn't Uber to the hotel. I took the train to the hotel from the airport. It took about 40 minutes, but it was $3. So you literally get on the train, and where I was going to the hotel in downtown, it was 12 stops. So for $3, I got to my hotel. The train station dumped you off 2 blocks from your hotel. So it was absolutely amazing just to be able to walk out of the airport after I got my bags, catch the train, and then hop off and walk 2 blocks and be at my hotel. So that was pretty cool in itself. So I took a lot of public transportation when I was in the city. I walked a lot. I didn't really do Uber or taxi. Now I did Uber to the cruise port, and I did taxi from the cruise port to my Bounce location. Now Bounce is another great thing. So I'll explain what Bounce is in a minute, but I took a cab to my Bounce location. And then from the rest of the day after I got off the ship, when I left the Bounce location, I took public transportation everywhere. So I rode the monorail from where I was back to downtown. I took the train back to here. And then I did take a cab to the airport because I wanted to get to the airport as quick as I could because I had lounge access. So I wanted to access the lounge with Alaskan Airlines and check that out. So I did take a cab to the airport. And I think it was like $30, $35. Wasn't no more than $40. So, but the day I got to Seattle, I took the train all the way to the hotel, used my feet the rest of the day. My dogs were barking at the end of the day. Once that was done, I got on the cruise. And then when I got off the cruise, I took a cab to my Bounce location. Now, what is Bounce? Bounce is a service that's offered by a few different places in the city of Seattle. I don't know if they're anywhere else other than Seattle right now, but it is a luggage daycare. So I dropped my luggage off at my Bounce location. They watched all my bags. It was literally me, my phone, and my camera. And we just went. We were gone. I left everything at the Bounce location. I went and did Chihuly and the Space Needle. And let me tell you, it was amazing. And I have a Chihuly 45 minutes from my house and I've never been to, but that is definitely on the list. So I'm definitely going to head to that Chihuly and compare notes and videos and things like that. But Chihuly was absolutely epic. The Space Needle itself, scared the daylights out of me for the first 35 minutes. I'm not going to lie. I was a little girl for 35 minutes. I didn't want to lean up against the glass. I didn't want to walk on the floor. Listen, I'm a big boy, 6'2", 350 pounds. That's a lot of weight on a piece of glass. Listen, you know what they say, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house, right? Well, if I fall, that's like dropping a boulder on some glass. So I wasn't feeling it. But no, after I worked up the nerve to lean onto the glass and look over, it was absolutely amazing being that high up in Seattle and looking down on everything. And just being able to sit there at the rotating bar, grab a drink as you rotate all the way around the Space Needle, which takes about 45 minutes. It was absolutely epic. Everyone wishing Scott a happy birthday. Yes, his birthday is coming up, and he already got his birthday present in the mail for me yesterday. Will G in the house. What's going on, Will G? And the Space Needle was awesome, and Chihuly was awesome. Now, I did go to the original Starbucks. I could not leave Seattle and not go to the very first Starbucks. I ended up doing that as well. I stood in line for about an hour, but it was worth it. My caramel macchiato something was delicious and cold, and my cup is now on the shelf. So it was well worth it. It is something I wanted to do, and I don't know when I'll be back in Seattle. I do plan on going back very soon, but not all Alaskan cruises leave out of Seattle. So I don't know if I'm going to book one out of San Francisco. I don't know if I'm going to book one out of Vancouver. So I figured I was going to make it worth it while I was there. Party on the Seas. What's going on, bro? I hope you're having a great night tonight. And y'all should already know, like, I'm a Starbucks guy. This is my Disney World cup, my Mickey Mouse cup. I got it in black too. But Chihuly was great. The Space Needle was great. Public transportation in Seattle was amazing. No issues whatsoever taking the train or the monorail. I do recommend if you're going to be in Seattle for more than a day or two and you plan on taking the public transportation, get yourself an Orca card. It's just like the Oyster card over in London. You tap on, tap off type thing. But it's cheaper for you to get the Orca card than it is for you to constantly buy like a round trip ticket. A round trip ticket on the monorail is $6. So if you're going to take the monorail 2-3 times a day, you're racking up very quick. When with the Orca card, it caps at a certain limit, and you can use that for all public transportation in Seattle as well. And I believe you can pre-order that online prior. Now, I did use Port Seattle when I was getting off of the cruise, which means I signed up for that prior to my cruise, which makes life so much easier. Let me tell you what, you don't have to worry about checking in for a flight. You don't got to worry about none of that. Why? Because Port Seattle takes care of that for you, and it's a free service. So if you're ever going on an Alaska cruise out of Seattle, I highly recommend taking advantage of Port Seattle. What Port Seattle does is you sign up for it online, or you can do it when you're on the ship, but there is no guarantee that if you do it on the ship that you will be approved for it. Doing it prior pretty much guarantees you that you will be accepted into the Port Seattle program. So now what Port Seattle does for you is you sign up for it, you tell them your airline, your flight, your time, the flight number, how many bags you have, all of that. It's absolutely free. This is done by the Port of Seattle to help guests and to encourage you to visit Seattle bag free. So you put all your information in, and the day the bags are supposed to go out, the night before you get off on disembarkation, you will get a letter to your cabin. In that letter will have your luggage tags for the airline as well as your boarding pass for the airline. So you literally pack your suitcase like you would and put it outside. The only difference is you attach your airline's luggage tag to it, and you have your boarding pass in your hand. So you don't have to check in for a flight. You don't got to worry about anything. Let them do it for you. Sign up before you go on your cruise. It's called Port Seattle. It's a free service offered by the Port of Seattle. Your luggage tags arrive to your room. You put them on your luggage, and you put your luggage out like you would any other cruise. And guess what the best part is? All you have to do is go to the airport, go through security, get on your plane. Your bags will be waiting for you at your final destination. So the time you put your bags out of your cabin, you will not see your bags again or touch your bags again until you arrive at your final destination. So for me, I put my bags out on Wednesday. I did not get them until Friday morning when I arrived in Tampa, Florida. It was absolutely amazing. I used the bounce service in the city of Seattle to hold my backpack and my carry-on and all my other stuff. And that was amazing. Relatively cheap. It was like $8 a bag, and I got to experience Seattle for 8 hours with no baggage, literally no baggage. So yes, if you are going, I highly recommend Port Seattle. I highly recommend Bounce. I highly recommend using the public transportation all around Seattle. You don't have to worry about taking an Uber or a cab anywhere. You can literally use public transportation. It's safe. I've seen tons of people from young kids to elderly people on the train, and solo male and female as well. And it was absolutely amazing. Scott, did you see where the rock slide was? Skagway got canceled for us and they gave us Icy Straight Point best whale watching. Yes. So I did see where the landslide was, the rock slide was. The rock was no longer there, and there was a ship docked not that far from there. But it didn't look like that part of the pier was open. Further up, it was open, but that part of the pier was not. But it was, you could still see, and I have video of it. I'll drop it in the Nauti Cruiser group on Facebook. Picture or video, I'll drop it in there. You can see literally where the landslide was, the rock slide was. Living the naughty life. You already know. Living the naughty life. Naughty in Alaska. Where the salmon spawning, Scott. So when I went, the salmon were swimming up Creek Street in Ketchikan to lay their eggs. So I got footage of them jumping and all that cool stuff. So I can't, like I said, I can't wait to get these videos edited and put out. And I'm fighting the urge of like getting them all edited and dropping them one by one, day after day after day, because I want to relive it with y'all. So I can't wait to just get one video out and then another out. And I'm going to be working on some shorts over the next couple of days as well. So there's going to be little sneak peeks of, the content that is getting ready to come out through the shorts. So check those out as well. Yep, because you got off the ship on your birthday and just happened. Me, Joe, and them were boarding the Glory. Yeah. SCT Adventures in the house. What is going on, Greg and Felicia? I hope you were having a great night. And if y'all remember earlier, I said I was going to be on a show next Friday. That is the channel I will be on, SCT Adventures with Greg and his wife, Felicia. I will be on there next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all can catch me over there, or y'all can catch me over here. We're going to double stream and hit it hard in YouTube land. So no show here next Thursday, but next Friday I will be live with Greg and Felicia of SCT Adventures. But it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I don't know what else to say. My favorite port would have to be, if I have to pick a favorite, I would say Skagway. Skagway was amazing. It was like walking into the Wild West. So if you've ever seen Gunsmoke or Blazing Saddles or anything like that, it was literally that in Alaska. Walking into the Wild West, I'm walking around saying, this town ain't big enough for both of us, you see. I loved every moment of it in Skagway. The train on the White Pass Rail was absolutely amazing. Going up the mountains into Seattle, standing on the back of this old-timey looking rail coach, and just the knowledge from the people they were dropping, the knowledge of Skagway and the mountains and the history of all of that and the gold rush. It was absolutely phenomenal. Getting into Canada and seeing where the border of the US and Canada are within Alaska was phenomenal and awesome. Seeing some old, what looks to be like blown up bridges that the trains used to travel over. It was just phenomenal. There's one spot on that journey that brings you into this open valley, and like 8 miles down the mountain, maybe more, you can see the cruise ships in port. It was just absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to go back. I seen the bear in Juneau. Juneau, that's where I seen the bear. Juneau, Juneau, Juneau. I seen the bear in Juneau, but I don't have footage of the bear, which is a little disappointing, right? So I was on the bus. I went and did the whale watching excursion, and we were coming back, and the coach driver was giving us a story, and you could see up ahead what she was talking about was an eagle that was up on the light post. Well, right to the right of me was this nice, beautiful like creek, and I was just looking. The water was, suppressed out. It wasn't very, very low tide, and I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm like, "There's a bear!" And I screamed it, and everybody's looking, and then there was a bear right out the window. You could see the bear just foraging around in the water. Griswold family vacay. What's going on, Danny? I hope you're having a great night, brother. But you could literally see the bear right out the window of the bus. It was absolutely amazing. And the locals are very knowledgeable, right? So like I was a little disappointed because I got on the ship and the first thing that I had in my cabin was a letter stating, no, I lied. Let's backtrack. I got on the ship. Everything was good. The first stop was Juneau. And then the night before, I still have not received my excursion tickets, right? So I'm like, where's my excursion tickets? Well, then my cabin steward brought it, and the paper said my excursion was canceled. Well, my excursion was the next day. So I was like, well, that's disappointing. That's the one thing I wanted to look forward to, and it was the whale watching excursion. So I originally booked small group discovery small group whale watching or whatever it was. It was like a 6-hour excursion. So I was really stoked. I was going to be out there for a long time, whale watching and all that. And it was canceled. They were having issues with their boats. No other whale watching excursions available. I was like literally heartbroken. But they had this express whale watching. It was literally 2-hour excursion. So I was like, all right, well, I'm doing it anyway. I want to go see whales. I'm taking a chance. It is what it is. And ultimately, I've seen whales, but we didn't get to go far enough into like the waters of the bay and all that where the large populations of the whales were because it was an express excursion. So I did have a good time, though. I did enjoy it. Got some amazing footage of a mama and her calf just swimming along and blowing big old spouts and tail slaps into the water. So it was really cool. I didn't see a breach, but I did still enjoy that excursion wholeheartedly. Now, I don't like salmon. Salmon is one thing I do not like. I had a very bad experience with salmon many, many years ago. So I haven't tried it since, but they offer like salmon dip as a little treat. Thank you for coming on the excursion. So I did it for the vlog. I tried the salmon. Spoiler alert, it was delicious. I'm not going to lie, it was good, but I'm not going to eat salmon anymore unless it's in a fish dip form. I won't do it. But that was phenomenal. Juneau was amazing. I came back and I had crab legs at Tracy's Crab Shack. So I did that. I did the number one. I didn't go crazy and buy a whole bucket of king crab legs. I just did the number one, which is 14 ounces of king crab, some crab cakes and some crab bisque. It was all amazing. The crab cake sauce they have is, I can put that on everything. It's like Frank's red hot. So that was amazing. Juneau was great. Ketchikan was awesome. I got to experience Ketchikan during the salmon run. They were supposed to be there 2 weeks prior, but they did not show up until like 3 or 4 days before we got there. So that was pretty cool. Being able to see the pink and chum salmon run up the river. There was a lot of sea otters just living their best life and seals living their best life right there at the Creek Street Bridge, just picking salmon like it was nothing. It was like the dinner bell was constantly ringing. So it was pretty cool to see that. There was a lot of people that decided to go and rent a fishing rod for the day and grab a fishing license. So for like $20, you can get a fishing license and rent a fishing rod and get bait. And you could just enjoy your day and catching fish. So that's definitely on my list because I love to fish. So that's definitely on the list for next time. But it was just amazing being able to walk around all around Creek Street up to the salmon ladder, which was it's a man-made like a ladder that the salmon can swim up to be able to get upstream a little bit easier because there is some low level waterfalls there for them to have to jump over. So the smart ones take the ladder. The dumb ones trying constantly jumping up. But it was absolutely amazing just seeing nature and beauty and the way it's built, and it's like an old towny feel. So it was absolutely amazing to see so much wildlife. Um, I've seen so many bald eagles. I've seen so many ravens. In Alaska, the native bird is the raven, so it's like very big in the native culture there. So you see ravens everywhere, but ravens and crows. It was like it just a bird that I can see in Florida. It just looked so majestic flying over the face of the mountains in Alaska. Greg, y'all have a great night. Salmon spread's good stuff. Yeah, Danny, it was delicious. I enjoyed it. I don't love salmon. I'll do salmon spread. That's about it. Totem Pole Park. That was pretty cool too. Seeing all the different totem poles. Now, I like to get off the beaten path, right? Like I like to take the road less traveled and explore the things that a lot of people don't really explore. So I did a lot of walking around every port stop. I seen a lot of things where there was not a lot of tourists. I went into like the neighborhoods of Ketchikan and all that stuff. So I enjoyed that as well. I'll tell you what, the homeless population over there is just as bad as it is anywhere else. But Seattle was absolutely amazing. Seattle's a place I know I'll go and spend like a week in Seattle. I can definitely spend a week in Seattle. I can spend a lifetime in Alaska, that's for sure. That's one thing I know I could definitely do is spend a lifetime in Alaska. But it was absolutely amazing. It was one of those trips that you don't want to end and you're sad when it ends, but you look forward to the next time you're going to be there. So right now it's just figuring out what cruise line I want to take there next and what port I want to sail out of, whether it's going to be Seattle or Vancouver. I am a little disappointed, however, on the back end of the cruise because Ketchikan, we were only there for 5 days or 5 days. I wish I was there for 5 days. We were only there for 5 hours. And Victoria, we were only there for 5 hours as well because of the Jones Act. So with the Jones Act being something that, we have to take part in, the time was cut short at both ports because it's so far away from where it is. But if I cruise out of Vancouver, I don't have to worry about the Jones Act. So I'm definitely looking into Princess. Scott, I see your comment, Glacier Bay. Princess is one of those cruise lines that go in the Glacier Bay all the time. So I'm definitely looking in the Princess for my next one. So we'll see what happens. I love Carnival, and Princess is a sister line to Carnival. So it's not too much cheating, right? It's not cheating too much. But Glacier Bay will be awesome to do. And I'm definitely going to book every single whale watching excursion I possibly can from here on out. And for those of you who want to do like the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, it's bang, bang. It's right here. It's right there, right outside the cruise ship. 2-minute walk. You're there. You can enjoy your show and then come right back to the cruise ship if you want it. Ketchikan was a great port, man. It was absolutely amazing. Everything was like so close within walking distance. There was so many amazing photo opportunity shots. I got a lot of pictures that I have to go through and photo dump all y'all on with those pictures. But that's in the very near future. That's going to happen over the next couple of days. I'll definitely get some more pictures out there. But I flew back in on Friday and I went right to work Friday morning. So when I landed at 7 a.m, I got a ride to my car. I got in my car and then I got in my truck. So I was literally airport to work and then I worked all day. So, and I've been back at work ever since, but I'll definitely get some things dropped over the next few days. And I got some content coming out over the next few days. I'm hoping to have a vlog drop on Monday afternoon at 12:45 p.m. So look forward to that. That'll be out Monday. It'll be the first in the installment of Alaska. So that'll be Seattle. You'll see them throwing some fish at Pike Place Market. You'll see me trying some fresh crab at Pike Place Market. It was absolutely amazing. And then, yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll do it with that. But Danny says his first cruise was Alaska, and now I'm jealous. I don't think I would ever go on any other cruise. I don't think I would go to the Caribbean after that. So I'm kind of glad I did it backwards. Went to the Caribbean first, Europe, and then Alaska, because I'm telling you right now, Alaska's, if you've never been, it's definitely a place you need to add to your list. I've always been that person that was like, I'm never doing an Alaska cruise. I lived in Jersey, cold weather. Why do I want to go to Alaska? Alaska is going to be on the list every year from here on out. Let me tell you that right now. Next year, my boy Scotty will be with me that year, though. So, but it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to do it again. You know, I'm looking at one that goes into Anchorage. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I got plenty of time. No more Alaska until 2024 at the earliest. If not 2024, then definitely 2025. But the first vlog will drop Monday. I'll get some shorts out prior to that, and I'll do some photo dumps over there in Facebook land. But it was absolutely amazing. Any questions about Alaska? I'm a professional. I've been there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So what's next? What's next on everybody else's list, right? So next for me would be the Carnival Glory out of New Orleans, October 29th on the Booze Cruise. The Booze Cruise. Yes, October of this year, I will be heading out of New Orleans yet again, and I'll be trying some new stuff yet again, because Cameron's not letting go of going to Acme Oyster House. So I think we're going to go to Acme Oyster House. And everyone keeps telling me to try oysters, and I don't like oysters. I've never tried oysters, but I think I'm going to do it for the vlog in October and try oysters. Don't hold me to it, because I'm telling you, it's like a giant booger, and I really don't know if I can put that in my mouth, but I'm always an advocate for trying everything once, right? Like I tell everybody, try it once. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it again. But I don't use my own advice. I don't take my own advice. I don't do it all the time, but we'll see what happens come October. Maybe we'll do some oysters. I know Chuck will be proud of me. He's always trying to get me to eat the oysters, but that is happening in October. And then I have the Jubilee in December. So right now my focus is the Booze Cruise. That is a group cruise. So that is going to be a lot of work from here on out. I got some trophies. I got all this. I got all that. And my mind's just like all over the place to make sure that goes off without a hitch, and everything that I am doing for that cruise goes off without a hitch. There's a group of 14 of us in my group alone, so it's going to be pretty epic. We love Felix's, but I don't eat oysters. Yeah, I never tried them, so I don't know. Slinky says, "Oh, I don't know if you'll like raw oysters, maybe Rockefeller style." So a lot of people are telling me they like raw oysters on crackers. So they like to put it on a cracker with a little hot sauce, maybe a little horseradish, and try it that way. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try it a couple different ways, and we'll see what way I like it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It took me a while to eat escargot. Cameron thought the same thing, but then loved them. No pressure on the oysters, but you can definitely get your boudin balls. Yes, that is absolutely one thing I'm getting. Like, I can taste them things just thinking about them. Y'all ever had boudin balls? Them things are phenomenal. Scott says, right out of the shell. Oh, man, y'all are getting me. Julie says, I can't even talk myself into trying escargot, LOL. That was me. It took me a while to try escargot. And it wasn't until, what cruise was I on? I was on the Lolita Loca Halloween group cruise on the Carnival Mardi Gras. So when I met everybody, my very first Carnival cruise is when I tried escargot. No, I lied. Nope, it was not that cruise. It was the following Lolita Loca group cruise on the Sky Princess. And Doug from Canada, Doug and Heather, they convinced me to try it, and I tried it with Doug. That's the very first time I had escargot. Um, but Scott convinced me on a cruise to try the braised ox tongue, and that was really good too. That was something that was like, I'm not doing that, but that was really good too. So who knows? If I can eat a cow's tongue and I can eat a slug, and a snail, and a shell, I might be able to eat oysters. I might be able to eat oysters. But to me, escargot is just a mode of transportation for some amazing garlic butter. That's all that is. That is all that is. Slinky says she loves raw oysters with lemon and horseradish. Now that don't sound bad, but I'm not a big horseradish guy, so that's where it gets me. Like, what do I put on it if I don't really do horseradish? I don't like lemon that much on my seafood, but what do I put on it? I'm gonna just suck it back right out of the shell. Yeah, chorizo. Yep, that too. Yep, yep. Chorizo. Scott got me to try chorizo when we were in Europe last year because every chorizo I try here in the States is just, ugh, I don't like it. But that chorizo we had over, where was it? Where were we? We were in Punta Delgada. That chorizo was amazing. How am I with sushi? It depends. So I can eat all different types of sushi. The only sushi I cannot eat is salmon, and it just literally, it just gets me every time. Every time it gets me, makes me gag and all that. So, and again, I don't like salmon, so it's all in my head. But yeah, I love tuna rolls. I love spicy tuna rolls, octopus. I eat octopus sushi, so I'm cool with sushi. I remember, Cameron, the first time you had sushi was on Lolly to Look a group cruise. I remember that. And then you were drunk the one night and you were eating it and it was like all over your shirt and we were making fun of you for it. I don't even know if you remember that or not. I know Scott remembers that. Lemon cuts the snot. So maybe, yeah, maybe. Oyster Rockefeller is really good. So I'm gonna have to try it a couple different ways. I'm gonna have to try it Rockefeller charbroiled. That's one way I was told to get it, was charbroiled on the half shell with all the cheese and stuff. So that might be my way. Cheesy oyster. I don't know. But I'm not saying I won't try it. We'll see what happens. Just don't hold it to me if I don't try it and I go, we'll see. But it was amazing to just try different things. So get out there and try things, Julie. Eat some escargot. It's good for you. My group of friends are going to make me eat a lot. I'll tell you that right now. But salmon's a no go unless it's salmon dip or salmon spread. Yeah, no raw salmon. None of that. Will G don't like fried oysters. Put it with vodka as a shot. I don't know about that either, man. I don't know. It's a texture thing for me, right? Like it's not a flavor thing; it's a texture thing. So, have y'all ever had that shot called the blood clot or an aneurysm shot? Like it's chunky and it's just a texture thing for me. I love raw seafood. Like I said, I'll sit down and I'll eat a whole boat of sushi as long as it's got like tuna and octopus and unagi. I'll even eat the eel and all that stuff. That's fine with me. But it's the salmon. I can't do the salmon. But I'll do like yellowfin sushimi or I'll do snapper sushimi. I'm cool with all types of raw fish. Little wasabi, little soy, some ponzu sauce. I'm all in. I'll do it all day long. But I just can't do the salmon. Vodka shooters rock, Cameron. Oyster shooter. I don't know. I don't know. Is it with Tito's? Because we all know Tito's is the best vodka. Cameron says it's all Slinky's fault. Can't get enough sushi oysters. The one time I tried sushi, the eel was my favorite. Yeah, unagi is very good, right? So like eel is a delicious sushi roll. It's cooked perfect, a little sweet soy sauce on it. It's good. Goose all day. I don't know. I don't know if I could do Grey Goose all day. Belvedere, I think, is better than Grey Goose. But if we're talking like cheap man's vodka, it's got to be Tito's. I think Belvedere is better than Grey Goose. But y'all, we're winding down. We got 4 minutes to go. Oh, 4 minutes to go until bedtime. This late hour naughty hour is kind of getting to me. Some little it's a little naughty. It's a little naughty. It's the naughty hour. But I hope y'all had a great night. I had a good night. I got to talk about Alaska. Who doesn't enjoy talking about their past trips, right? Like, I don't know. Alaska is definitely that little spot right here in my heart now. It's probably that big. It's probably that big. It's like a big old iceberg in my heart right now. And I can't wait to get back. And I hope a lot of y'all are able to come with me on the next adventure, whether it be we just go together or a group cruise, whatever it may be. We all need to go to Alaska. Let's not be part of that 70%. Let's not be that statistic. Let's get to Alaska, y'all, because I'm telling you right now, there ain't nothing like it. Alaska and Europe, they should be the top 2 destinations on your list. Y'all, it's that time. I'm going to close out the show. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Y'all don't know how much y'all mean to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here every single week and every opportunity. When I do go live, y'all are here. Y'all are the real MVPs. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, I'll see you around Facebook. I'll see you around YouTube. But most of all, y'all stay naughty. Peace.